Hello, folks, and welcome to The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. As always, love hearing from all of you. Comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of me anytime. Call or text 305-900-BEN. That is 305-900-2363. Or drop an email to benradioshow@gmail.com. Sitting here in with us is our producer, sound engineer, and co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
I just run the buttons. That's all I do. I run your little volume button. I turn it up, and then the volume button goes down.
You do a fine job at that. Yes, you do. All right, let's catch everybody up on what you and I've been up to, Tigger, and that is...
Tipping the kayaks.
That did happen. Yes, yes. On top of that, first off, though, earlier this spring, those have been following the show, in case you haven't, Tigger and I have done a lot of research and such, and reached out to a lot of great friends and got into mountain bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And so, it's been a very hot summer for much of the United States, us included. And Saturday morning, we woke up extra early. It was cool enough. And we said, let's load our bikes up. We got hardtails, by the way. We went with very entry-level hardtail bikes.
To see if we like it.
Yeah, but we're really enjoying it.
I really, really like it. I like biking a lot. And
I want to throw out a tip that at first Tim and I were thinking, we're going to do the canyons and we're going to do,
we're going to do this big 4-day trip across the country.
We thought we were going to get on and just go. And
you got to give us credit. We're ambitious.
We stopped by a smaller local mom and pop bicycle shop. And the first thing the gentleman said was, take it slow.
Take it easy, you two overachievers.
It's been a few years since you've been on a bicycle. Things have changed, and you have to, work on your
balance.
Yes.
Was that not crazy the first time that we got on them, where we were kind of a little,
I know.
And I thought, what? Where did all of a sudden I change? But it took a little bit to get your balance back.
Well, and we both grew up on gravel back roads, where you just got on and went, right? It didn't matter how steep or that hill was, what it was, we flew.
Right.
We were racing everybody.
Right.
No, now Tigger and I are starting off on pavement, on very nice, flat
The training wheels
trails.
Need to come back on, is what you're saying.
But we are getting our groove back.
I love it.
And it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So as the day started heating up, we did, get the kayaks out.
But we're taking time. That's the important thing, is that we're making it a priority to spend time together doing something other than work.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking the time to do something that we enjoy, and we're doing it together.
It is, and sometimes it's hard to put each other in check. Isn't that what one friend says? You have to check in with your spouse?
Yep, that's what Amanda said. You have to check in with each other.
And that's what we've been trying to do as a priority lately, is back away from everything that's our normal, everyday life and just take some time for us. And so when summer ends, we're not sitting here going, we didn't get anything done. We didn't get to do anything fun.
And that's why we had to do that with something new and something different, so that we could leave the studio behind, the ranch behind, the house behind, everything behind, and then we could just focus on this new little adventure that we were getting into.
Absolutely. So yes, as we headed out with the kayaks, all we did really is we just went up the road about 4 or 5 miles. We have a very nice recreational area that's been built over the last, I would say, 15 years. And now the lake has filled really well. And with some of the summer rains we've had, thankfully, to break up our
we're
heat.
in that area where we've been receiving rain, but there is a lot of the country that needs to be in everyone's prayers. They're not receiving any rain, and it's misery.
Those people are in our thoughts and prayers all the time. But we did. We put the kayaks in, and Tigger tried his hand at doing his usual fly fishing from the kayak. I was doing the spin reel, and yes, he outfished me.
Outfish? I was slaying them. I was slaying them. You did a pretty good job, too. You were using jigs, and you were on the bottom, but I was slaying them.
He was in heaven. He's pulling in crappies after crappies, sunnies. You had some,
bass.
Yes, the largemouth bass. You were like a little kid when you pulled that largemouth bass in.
I was screaming because we have not had a lot of success fishing this year for some reason. We have not had a lot of success.
For some of the panfish, it's been a little harder this year for us where we're at.
Yep.
But it was a lot of fun. We were giggling, laughing, enjoyed a beautiful sunset, and ended up, what was crazy was we came back to our cabin at the end of the night and ended up just sitting out on our deck. And you know how a lot of times
meaning the house, when you say you call the house the cabin, so everyone knows.
Yes, our house is a cabin, and so that's a lot of times
one and the same.
Yes, correct. One and the same. Well, anyway, a lot of times you decorate and you have your deck all set up, and it's always for the entertaining of people to come over and visit. But how often do you use it for yourself? And we actually sat out there, turned some of my lights on. I'm a bit of have a little thing for lights everywhere.
It's called a fetish is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, so we turned the twinkling lights on, and it was very kind of romantic. And we sat and played pinochle cards. Pinochle. I don't know how many people know what that is, but it is a fun card game that our parents grew up doing. And you know what? It was just fun to just relax and enjoy the moment.
Recharge. Take care of our mental health.
I'm glad you brought up the mental health side of this. And I know some people are going, gosh, you guys are going a little long-winded on what you did this last weekend. But it is so important to do those things. Check in with each other. Recharge. Find the spark. Try something new. These are all things that we take for granted. Now let's change the gears up here. Tigger, off with the headset. Sean McCoy is going to put the headset back on. I'm going to do the news here, and then Sean's going to come on, and we're going to talk about griddles versus smokers.
Griddles! It's all the way griddles, my friends.
Now's the news. Our first story takes us to England, where a seagull has been stealing potato chips from an England convenience store. The bird swoops into the store, grabs a bag of chips, and then quickly flies off. The convenience store workers have named the bird Steven, and he has been caught stealing 18 times this far. Now back in the United States, Florida. A Florida woman recently found a giant iguana in her toilet. The woman had opened the lid to find an iguana staring back at her. She closed the lid immediately and called a trapper. The Mexican spiny iguana was 18 inches long. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. 18 inches long? If you remember back a few months, I spotlighted trapper Mike Kimmel, a.k.a. the Python Cowboy from South Florida. I'm kind of wondering if that's who she called. By the way, Florida has quite the invasive species problem going on right now, from iguanas to the pythons. Now, Minnesota. 2 zookeepers were left with quite a mark left by a camel. Both were bitten while handling a camel at the zoo. One worker was escorting the camel to another facility when the camel bit his head, then dragged the worker approximately 15 feet. The other zookeeper was able to get the camel to release his co-worker, but not before he was bitten on the head too. The workers are both expected to make full recoveries. Colorado. Idaho Springs, Colorado is where the Havens family says their Chihuahua Pit Bull mix, Lady, saved their 4 children from a mountain lion that was stalking them in their yard. The wife and kids were playing on the swing set while the husband was working in the garage outside their home when Lady, their dog, began barking. According to the Haven family, the nature of her bark was so uncharacteristically aggressive, and it was then when the husband spotted a large mountain lion inside their fenced area, and within seconds, Lady the dog was charging it. One of the children was on the swing, and the cat was right behind her when the dog charged. The Haven family all rushed into the house and watched helplessly as the mountain lion and family dog fought in the yard. They called 911. Officers with the Idaho Springs Police Department arrived in just a few minutes when they began shooting non-lethal rounds at the mountain lion, causing the big cat to run off. The Colorado Park and Wildlife confirmed that they went out to investigate where the incident happened. They looked for the cat, but it was never found. For our last story, we head to Kentucky for some history. We head to the Mammoth Cave National Park, where Mammoth Cave has been mapped over an area spanning more than 400 miles. And according to legend, the first Europeans to enter Mammoth Cave were brothers John and Francis Huchin in 1797. The men were hunting a wounded bear, and when they came across an entrance opening near the Green River, Today, a team of archaeologists from the National Park Service and the University of Idaho have been excavating the Mammoth Cave and have uncovered artifacts dating from the 19th and 20th century. Excavations have revealed over 200 years of history, including Coke bottles, ticket stubs, and ceramic pieces, documenting centuries of tourist activity and further enhancing the knowledge of the cave's geology and natural wonders. By the way, here's a little more details on the cave. This cave was formed through the natural process of limestone erosion, where rainwater in rivers slowly dissolve and shape soft limestone, creating a vast underground system of caves. Supposedly, the first American Indian explorers are believed to have entered this cave around 5,000 years ago, and for nearly 2 centuries, they mined the upper 3 levels for raw materials. Then in 1812, the cave was industrial scale mined for calcium nitrate, and by 1838, the cave was repurposed as a tourist attraction. That's a wrap for now. When we come back, we'll be discussing barbecuing, have more news of the feel-good type, and have gift ideas for that hard-to-shop for BBQ'er in your life. Stay where you are. We'll be right back.
Do you want to promote your product or your event? You want to get in front of the right audience? You want to make your business grow, take it to the next level. You know you need more, and that's where Beck and I come in. We can help. Drop us a message and find out more today. Here is how we are changing things up on the Bend, the fruits of our labors to the frying pan. We put those recipes to the test. Now, over the next few months, we're going to be testing out your submissions. Will we survive? Tune in next week. Want to add just a little bit of spice to your event, your customer appreciation supper, your banquet, your meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, bring in us, Beck and I, as your keynote speakers, hosts, MCs, a host couple. We'll make them laugh, even cry tears of joy. Call us today.
Buckstorm Hunts offering Black Hills guided rifle and archery hunts on over 1 million acres for deer and turkey, and for South Dakota residents, elk and bighorn sheep too. Hunts are limited. Book a hunt today. Head to buckstormhunts.com.
It's all about you. This is Michelle with About You Photography. Super excited to be the official photographer of Tigger and Beck. Get a hold of me for all of your photography needs, from custom shoots to stock photos. About You Photography on Facebook and auphoto.net.
OverTheEdgeOutdoors.org, a nonprofit providing veterans and active service members with opportunities to hunt and fish at no cost to them. For more information or to donate, check out OverTheEdgeOutdoors.org.
Again, that's OverTheEdgeOutdoors.org. Welcome back to The Bend. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. July is National Grilling Month, so is the grill still where it's at? Have griddles like Blackstone or Pit Bosses taken over, or have smokers such as pellet smokers and various other types on the market become the go-to? Well, we thought who better than to have a discussion with on what's hot this summer to be using for your outdoor cooking other than Sean McCoy, the founder and owner of Mickey's Mustard and our own Texas BBQ expert here at The Bend. Mr. McCoy is here to help by offering us his opinions. Sean, thanks for joining in. What are your thoughts on cooking out this summer? Or where has your barbecue action been taking place?
The thing is that I think I have found over the years, because I used to only use charcoal and only used to have a stick burner as far as smokers go, you know, the Blackstones to me are just an extended cast iron skillet.
Okay.
Me.
Yep. I can see
so
that.
if you're trying to feed 100 people, you got your and it, I've never wanted to own one of those, and nothing against people that do, because my son loves his. My son loves his.
Yep, we own one. Tigger, he has dreams of being that sushi chef for you that's at every hibachi grill, and he even has the jacket and the hat. So, Sean and anybody else that wants to show up.
When he starts building volcanoes and flipping shrimp at you.
Oh my gosh. Folks, if you couldn't hear Tigger in the background, he just came in my studio and yelled, "I've got the skills too." So
Anybody can clink a spatula and a fork together.
Oh, nice. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. He's clinking a fork and a spatula together. We won't say what's on the grill. He keeps telling me it's hibachi style, but I don't know if I've yet to taste any of that yummy, yummy sauce that those guys
Yum
have.
sauce.
But okay, this is good to know in this debate that you don't have one, because we do have one. And I'll be honest, I feel like ours doesn't get used as much because of all the online reviews people have said if you leave them out in the weather, they rust really easily, and now you're back to reseasoning them. And I already know it seems like it's a full-time job to keep the cast iron and the Dutch oven seasoned properly, that we tend to end up leaving our griddle down in the shop, and then it just gets brought out for more like special occasions. When you're cooking for, say, 30 people and you need 30 hamburgers all cooked at the exact same time, then of course it comes out great, and it becomes a great utensil for us. But that's just our household. I mean, we do love ours, but we're not using it near as much as I thought we would be.
For me, the smoker gets used at least 3 weekends out of the month. I'm using my smoker.
Wow, that's quite a bit then. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the pellet smoker. It's the newest thing I have, and I love it. There's so many different things you can do on it, and it with the heat being constant and everything, you can cook things. I think I could cook things better on the smoker than I do on the stick smoker. But it's always fun to go back to that traditional, throw some charcoal and post oak or whatever that you want to put in there, mesquite, and smoke a brisket. Or I use my grill probably 3 or 4 days out of the week.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're grilling
okay.
burgers, we're grilling chicken.
You are the guy to ask. You
shrimp.
are cooking outside almost every day then.
Especially during, anywhere from every day of the year.
As everyone can tell, he lives further south. He's not up north where Tigger and I may or may not still be shoveling snow in the month of May, but thankfully it's not May anymore.
Yeah, the only thing I really use our stovetop for anymore is like breakfast. We cook a lot of, like I said, chicken, burgers, shrimp, fish in aluminum foil on the grill, steaks, hot dogs, sausage. My wife's German, so we have a lot of sausage.
All right, so you're kind of saying, no, hold off, just stick to the mainstays you've always used. Keep your grill, keep your smokers, and just keep going down that road.
Well, yeah, and I think during this whole COVID thing, people learned to do that. They got away from it, or they were just used to doing it during the summer. And I understand some parts of the country can only do that, but with the pellet smokers and the gas grills and everything, you could still do a lot of stuff. I use mine all year long. It's just a staple for me. I would much, and I hate to say it, but I think I'm able to fix a lot of stuff way better than at the restaurants. But most of our stuff is done on the grill. We just prefer doing everything on the grill or smoking it.
Thank you, Sean. I can't wait to hear during break what thoughts Tigger's going to have for you, Sean, off air about the griddle versus the smoker. Up ahead, Sean isn't leaving us yet. He's got some insight on gift ideas for that hard to shop for man in your life. I have a few more stories of the feel-good type, and we'll be spotlighting another Bend fan of the week. Stay where you are. We make our final bend right after this.
Little Rack Taxidermy. Be it a youth's first hunt or a trophy of a lifetime, let it be something you always remember.
Reach out to Little Rack Taxidermy on Facebook and have Heather bring back that natural look. That's Little Rack Taxidermy.
It's all about you. This is Michelle with About You Photography. Super excited to be the official photographer of Tigger and Beck. Other than the ranch, photography and design is what I do for a living. From rodeo and Western sports to the elegant to the tasteful, artistic, beautiful, and private, we can take care of whatever you're needing. If I can make Tigger look good, imagine what I can do for you. Get a hold of me for all of your photography needs, from custom shoots to stock photos.
Add a little heat to those burgers and brats. Add some Mickey's mustard or some Mickey's hot mustard to your summer cooking. Ain't nothing like it. Mickey's mustard. That's MICKEYSMUSTARD.com. Mickey's mustard.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back to The Bend. Sean McCoy, the owner and creator of Mickey's Mustard. Well, Sean has been hanging around here a bit longer. More or less, he's been laughing with Tigger around the cooler. Sean, toss that headset back on. I told you, you weren't done yet. So would you say, when we talk about the men in our lives and what continues to be kind of a consistent good gift, it doesn't matter what type of year or when it is, would you say sticking to barbecuing and good gift ideas to think about buying somebody?
Yeah, you got to remember, you're dealing with men. Our brains just really, are simple, very, very simple. We're not too complicated. A nice tomahawk steak or
okay, that's a great idea. There you go.
Yeah,
buy maybe some of those expensive cuts that they usually wouldn't splurge on to go and actually cook and grill, and maybe kind of encourage them to get into their side of their flair
caveman.
Of yes,
inner caveman.
Oh, I like that, the inner caveman. Perfect.
Yeah, good.
Bring home that porterhouse or whatever it might be, but bring home some of those. I like the idea of the tomahawk steak, because that might be something I got to do for Tigger, because he's always hinting he'd like to try grilling a tomahawk.
Try and that's a trick all on its own, just because they're so thick and everything. And I would suggest the reverse searing. But it's the tomahawk's great. You got to remember, beer, wood, and fire and meat. That's 4 things. And a guy will love that. I mean, we're that simple. Oh, give me beer, give me fire, throw on meat.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I think you just summed it up perfectly, and we're going to let it go like that, everybody. And we're going to just repeat what he said. 4 things. 4 things. That's all we got to keep in mind this summer, anytime we want to impress our man.
We are simple creatures. Good alcohol, good food, good conversation.
Well, good conversation is never hard to find around this bend in the road. Thank you again for the simple gift ideas, not just for the man in your life, but also for that person that just loves to barbecue. Let's call this Beck's Barrel of Good, heading to Wisconsin, where the idea of a gummy bear brat is going viral. The Wisconsin State Fair is going viral because they are going to be selling, yes, a gummy bear brat this year. The brat is infused with gummy bears and topped with honey mustard, along with even more gummy bears. Lightfoot's Race Bar and Grill is the maker of this brat. Those interested, the Wisconsin State Fair is running August 4th through the 14th in West Allis, Wisconsin, which is just west of Milwaukee. I don't know about this one. Tigger and I are heading out to Green Bay, Wisconsin ourselves in the next couple of weeks. I have a feeling we're going to have to try and find this out ourselves. Now here's a feel-good story for us all. Heading to Arizona, a Good Samaritan rescued a man from a fiery RV. Adrian Garcia from Apache Junction, Arizona, was driving when he saw black smoke in the distance. The man drove to the smoke and found an RV on fire. He ran into the RV and pulled a man to safety. Well done, Adrian Garcia. Our spotlight shout out this week is to Bruce Jers from Mandan, North Dakota. He fished recently for walleye on Lake Sakakawea and slayed them. I'm telling you, they were beauties. Now, I challenge everyone, if you hear of something spotlight worthy, to send us those pics, info, and tag at The Ben Show on social media. You just might be our next spotlight shout out, or even as a guest on this show. Folks, if you have a field update, a topic we should investigate, a different recipe, or a tale of your own to share, send it this way. Call, text 305-900-BEND. That is 305-900-2363. Or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. Social media, we're everywhere there too. Facebook and Instagram. Follow us at The Bend Show. Thank you to my producer and sound engineer, Jeff Tigger Erhardt, to our Bend field staffer and Texas BBQ expert and the creator of Mickey's Mustard, Sean McCoy. As always, we love having you on the show. As you all keep making those memories, be sure to keep sending in those pictures by email and always tagging at The Bend Show on social media. Hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, to ranching and farming, to your rural way of life, we want to see it all. We want to see and hear those memorable moments. Missed this episode? Find all our shows on the website, thebendshow.com, and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. Booking events now, change things up and have us, Tigger and Beck, help you with your event. From MCs to entertainment to acting as host couple, let us make your gathering extra special. From ranching to rodeo, cattle hunting, fishing, camping, and so much more. Thank you to our partners, Detelli Outdoors, Shurkan, Sasquatch Survival Gear, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Wabalo Creek Outfitters, Atlas Tracks, Ranch House Coffee, RFD TV, and the Cowboy Channel. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. Remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Wanner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.